Happy Thanksgiving Eve, and thanks for starting your afternoon with us here on THV 11. I'm Michael Aaron with meteorologist Nathan Scott. Turning out to be a really nice afternoon, but just like we expect here in Arkansas, change is on the way just in time for Turkey Day.
Yeah, don't be fooled out there this afternoon. It's going to be well above average. Temperatures are already into the 60s, but look what's heading our direction. A cold front will be swinging its way through the state while you're sleeping tonight. We're going to fast forward future radar around 9 o'clock this evening, so if you have any dinner plans, no rain to be concerned about. Primarily after midnight, that's when the round of showers and storms will start to arrive. Stopping here at 10 o'clock Thanksgiving morning, notice most of the moisture is already moving out of central Arkansas. So this is just going to be a quick hit of some showers and storms, and then also tomorrow will be much cooler. Right now, 64 is the number in Little Rock. We've got that mixture of sunny clouds, partly sunny skies. Also on the breezy side, winds are kicking in from the south about 10 to as high as 20 to 25 miles per hour, and highs today mid to upper 60s. Here's what you can expect across the state. Everybody warming up into the mid to upper 60s. I'll let you know how long the cool weather will stick around and a weekend forecast coming up.
All right, Nathan, we'll see you soon. Of course, tomorrow, Thanksgiving kicks off the holiday season, and we want to make sure that you're ready and safe for the holidays. So does Governor Asa Hutchinson, who is asking everyone to be careful so we don't see another post-holiday spike in COVID cases like we did last year.
This week, as everyone knows, is Thanksgiving, and this starts the holiday season. And a year ago, that's the time frame that we started going up significantly in our cases and hospitalizations in Arkansas. That alone should tell you that we've got to be very cautious and wise in order not to have a surge like we did last winter.
You can see the reason for his concern looking at this chart. It shows our positivity rate rising right now in Arkansas. Here's our latest COVID dashboard. Active cases are up by nearly 1,000 today compared to a week ago. Hospitalizations are up 25% in the last week. Because of this, health officials stress the importance of getting the vaccine and a booster shot. They are all free. Now let's talk about holiday travel. AAA expects about 54 million people will take a trip this Thanksgiving. A lot of them are hitting the road today, and they will be paying more at the pump. That's where we want to start with the 3 things you need to know before heading out on that trip. First, according to AAA, the national average for a gallon of gas is $3.39. The statewide average in Arkansas is $3.02. Arkansas has the second cheapest statewide average gas price per gallon right now. So AAA suggests people traveling out of state fill up in Arkansas to save a few bucks. Now to number 2. Many more people are expected to hit the road, skies, and rails this holiday season, this weekend in particular, compared to last. That is why officials want you to leave as early as possible. Of course, we've just entered the peak travel time, noon to 8 today, so you'll want to leave soon. Be patient and make safety a priority. While there were fewer people on the road last year, fatalities were still up. What about those planning to fly? There are a lot of you out there, many more than last year. In fact, more than 51,000 people are expected to fly out of Clinton National Airport during the Thanksgiving period, which runs until November 30th. Airport officials recommend arriving at least 90 minutes before your flight. They say knowing what you can and can't pack can make things go much smoother once you arrive inside the terminal. And as we see more and more unruly passengers across the country, travel experts say patience is key. And of course, you don't want to forget your mask. There's still a federal mask mandate in place in airport terminals and on those planes. Thanksgiving wouldn't be complete without some holiday shopping. Global supply chain bottlenecks are making things difficult for shoppers, though. And to make things worse, scammers are taking advantage of these difficulties by setting up fake websites. Anna Werner shows us a few ways to avoid scams this season.
Iowa high school senior Jace Leniger likes music, in particular artist Billie Eilish. So when the singer-songwriter released her new album over the summer, he decided to buy himself a birthday gift of some of her new merchandise on what looked like her bona fide website.
I started looking around and shopping.
He bought a bundle he'd seen on Instagram with a sweatshirt, poster, and other items. Price tag about $100. But when the transaction hit his bank account, he says it showed some $79, which he found suspicious.
And so after that, I started to look up the website, look up reviews on the website, and there were over like 1,000 people reviewing this website saying it's a scam, don't buy it, I haven't got my stuff in over half a year.
So what has happened in terms of your money and your merchandise?
Well, I don't have the merchandise or my money.
He's just one of thousands of consumers who say they've lost money to scammers posing as legitimate online retailers.
We have seen a 2,000% increase over the past 3 months, driven by the supply chain issues that are in this country today.
LexisNexis Risk Solutions CEO Haywood Talcove says that equals over 5,000 fake sites, up from just 100 or so earlier this year, as criminals take advantage of consumers' need for products now in short supply.
What's happening is when you go to some of the big box stores, they don't have the toy that you want in stock. And then you Google it, and then you find this really boutique company that is offering the bicycle that your daughter wants. And you think, you know what, I'm gonna get it. It really isn't a company. It's a front for a transnational criminal group.
And Dave Hollister with the Secret Service Cyber Fraud Task Force says those criminals' fake sites, typically launched from overseas, are becoming increasingly sophisticated.
They learn as they go, just like you and I. It's their job.
But examine sites closely, he says, and there are often tip-offs, misspellings, grammar mistakes, links on the page that don't work, and a refusal to accept credit cards.
These websites will often only ask for payment via a wire service, such as PayPal, Venmo, Zelle. Places that where the transaction is put through, those monies are gone. And it's very unlikely, almost impossible for the consumer to get their money back.
It's like a virus. It just spreads. It doesn't stop until the consumers stop falling for the trick.
Anna Werner, CBS News, New York.
More criminal charges are expected for the man accused of driving his SUV through a Wisconsin Christmas parade on Sunday. A sixth person has died after being run down during the Waukesha holiday parade. That latest victim was just 8 years old. More than 60 others were hurt in the crash. The suspect, Darrell Brooks, appeared in court yesterday. The district attorney says Brooks appeared to intentionally target people even as he swerved to avoid other cars. His bail was set at $5 million. He's due back in court on January 14th. The expanded child tax credit has been a financial lifeline for many families over the past few months, but it could soon come to an end. THV 11's Marlisa Goldsmith takes a closer look at how the tax credit has helped people hit hard by the pandemic and what it could look like in the future.
Financially, it's been rough.
As a single mother, Mary Bridges has seen her share of tough times.
When the pandemic started in March, I had got laid off from my job.
This devastating blow came shortly after Mary and her daughter moved into their new home in Beebe.
I was very nervous. I actually would just sit around and cry.
With so many thoughts running through her mind.
You know, how am I going to raise my daughter? That, it's only me, so, I have to do the best I can do.
Her best got a welcomed boost. Mary soon had extra money hitting her bank account each month to help out with things like food, clothes, and bills. It's thanks to the expanded child tax credit, which lawmakers passed as part of the American Rescue Plan back in March. The nearly $2 trillion coronavirus relief deal increased the tax credit from $2,000 to $3,000 per child, with a $600 bonus for kids under 6. The new law also allowed eligible parents to receive half of that credit in advance through monthly payments from July to December of this year. Taxpayers will claim the other half once they file their taxes next year.
Unless you opted out of the expanded child tax credit, that means you're getting monthly checks in the mail for usually $300 per child, up to 4 children.
Joshua Kerr is an accounting professor at UA Little Rock. He says this extra money makes a world of difference in a family's income, especially here in Arkansas. Here's why. According to the U.S. Census, the median household income in our state is around $47,000, and roughly 16% of Arkansans are living in poverty.
So let's just say you have 3 children. 3 times $3,600, you're talking about over $10,000 in child tax credit for that family making $50,000 per year. So that's, roughly 20% of their total income for the entire year.
The expanded tax credit is scheduled to expire on December 31st. As for what happens after that, well, it depends on Congress. The White House wants to extend the child tax credit for one more year as part of President Joe Biden's Build Back Better plan. So far, the House has approved the measure, but it still needs to pass a tough vote in the Senate before it can reach the president's desk.
If I had to guess, I would say at least for one more year, this child tax credit will probably be part of the spending bill that's happening. But as you say, there's no guarantees, and if it doesn't, then it's going to hit Arkansans hard, especially because we're in a state where it's going to be most affected by this because we have incomes that are typically lower than the national average.
Back at Mary's house in Beebe, she realizes how beneficial the credit has been for her family.
It kind of took a lot off of my shoulders. Like, it helps out so much because with a single mom, I live from check to check. Less money I can look forward to every month, besides my work checks.
While Mary continues to fine-tune her family's budget, she hopes lawmakers will do what's in the best interest of people like her who are still bouncing back from the pandemic.
And that's Marlisa Goldsmith reporting for us this afternoon. For parents who had a baby anytime during 2021, your newborn will count toward the child tax credit payment of $3,600. Adopted children can also qualify if they are U.S. citizens.